for the first question or the second question? So what's x squared to the power of 0?
X to the power of 0.
It's 1.
X to the power of 0, which is 1, right? So you can, if you want, write the middle step. Okay, it's x to the power of 0 plus x to the power of 0, right? Because 0 times 2 is also 0. And then that would give you 1 plus, which is 2. Okay, next question. What do I have to do first? Flip the first term. Okay, so flip the first term. In this case, I have to flip first because I have that negative 2 as an exponent outside, so I have to do the flip first. And that's going to give me 3y over x to the power of 2 plus y over x to the power of 2. All right, next. Multiply the exponent in, right? Distribute the exponent in for each term. So 1, 1, 1. Anytime you don't have an exponent, please put 1 as your exponent so you don't mess this up, okay? Yeah. So 3 squared y squared over x squared plus y squared over x squared. Okay? That would be still simplified. You can simplify that a little bit more. Okay? So what can you simplify the first term as? What's 3 squared? 9y squared over x squared plus y squared over x squared. And what do I have here?
So to add the numerator with the denominator and the denominator with the denominator together.
So add the numerators.
Yes, so 9y squared plus y squared has to be 10y squared.
Yeah.
Over 2x squared.
It will be over x squared. Okay? Okay, guys, when I'm adding fractions, you must have the same denominator. Okay? So, if I look at this, I have x squared and x squared for both denominators. Then I can add the numerator. Only. Keep the denominator as is. So, I already have a common denominator, which is great, right? Because I have the common denominator, I can keep that, and I can add just my numerators. Now, in this case, it works out well because 9y squared and y squared are like terms, right? And all what I have to do is I have to add their coefficient, and that would give me 10y squared. Okay? So remember, we can only add like terms, and to add fractions, we must have the same denominator. Are we good with that? Too many rules here. Let's play.
May I ask one question?
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have 1x and plus 1x? Has
No.
to be 2, right?
You keep your denominator the same. So when you have, so look at this, okay? So you have a quarter, right? 1 quarter and 1 quarter, right? When I'm adding all of this up, it's going to be 1 quarter plus 1 quarter plus 1 quarter plus 1 quarter, right? So that gives you 4 quarters, right? So you don't add your denominator. The denominator stays the same. You just add your numerator, right? Are we good with that? Do you guys know what the definition of like terms are? Or is?
Yeah, add the numerators and keep the denominators.
Yeah, but what would define a like term? What would define like term? What must they have? Same letters, same variable, and same exponent. Okay, so for me to define these as like terms, they have to have the same variable and they have to have the same exponent, right? And then no, letter and variable are the same. Okay, so they have the same variable, same exponent. Then you can add the coefficient. Okay, so coefficient is a number that comes before the letter. Or all right, let's look at the next one. Okay, personally speaking, I like to write my division sign as a fraction. Okay, I don't like to see it this way. It's easier for me to visualize it when I have it written this way. I don't know about you guys. That's a 2. Personally, this is my preferable way of writing. Okay? If you guys prefer it with a division sign, go ahead, but this is my. Okay, what's the first thing I have to do there? Multiply the exponent. All right, so remember that this is to the power of 1, this is to the power of 1, so I get 4 squared, u to the power of 6, v to the power of 4. Stop me if you don't know what I'm doing. How about this one? It's going to be negative 2 squared. It is important that at this time you put bracket around the negative 2 because the whole number is squared. Okay? There is a difference between negative 2 squared and negative 2 squared. Okay? The first one, only the 2 is squared. So your answer for this one is going to be negative 4. The second one, the whole negative 2 is squared, so your answer is going to be positive 4. Okay? So make sure, because it's in the bracket, the whole thing is going to be squared. Even when you're entering them in the calculator, right? Be careful. This is going to be u to the power of 4 and v to the power of 0.
It's negative 2 to 2, right?
Sorry? Can you repeat what you said?
That's a 2, right?
That's a 2. Okay, that's going to be 16 over 4. What can I do with my like terms?
Subtract.
Subtract. So that's going to be u 6 minus 4, v 4 minus 0. What's 16 over 4?
It's the first, it's 4 U2 V4.
4 u2 v 0. Yeah.
Just confused me a little with the negative 2 to negative 4. I don't get that.
You don't get the difference?
Yeah, no, it's not the same thing.
No, they're not, right? So look what the difference is, okay? So if I have, these are like side work, don't worry about writing this, okay? So negative 2 squared is actually negative times 2 times 2. So it's only the 2 that is actually squared, okay? And the negative is not squared. The negative is not multiplied twice, okay? So you end up with a negative 4 here. When you have negative 2 all squared, that's the same thing as writing negative 2 times negative 2,
That's what I thought.
right? And there's a difference between the two, okay? So that's why we have to include the bracket in
Throw me off.
Figure it out.
Sometimes the calculator, when you put the negative, it puts right away the bracket, so that's why you have to be careful sometimes, okay?
Not the right answer.
Can I just erase this part so this way it doesn't confuse the people who are just reading the PDF? Should I get Sarah? Or
Kim's
oh no, I have to go.